Ah yes, Guts and Blackpowder. The game we all know and love where we fight off zombies during the legendary Napoleonic Wars. And that got me thinking, where is Napoleon during the events of all the maps in the game? Welcome to this new series on my channel where I'll be going over theories related to the Guts and Blackpowder lore and the established timeline. It's important to note that the lore can change or can be retconned at any given time, as it's all in the developer's hands. For the sake of this video, we'll just be going over what we already have up until this point. Remember to join my Discord server to tell me your own theories, and remember that nothing I'm about to say is me claiming that it is true. It is simply just a theory for entertainment purposes. Now, let us jump right in. So we already have a pretty well established timeline, but sadly Napoleon doesn't appear in any map aside from being mentioned in newspapers. However, this wasn't originally the case. You see, at the release of the first map chronologically, Berezina, there used to be a sneaky little change. When players finish the bridge, French cuirassiers make for the construction to cross the river, but initially Napoleon himself would cross the river as well. This detail was removed at the actual release, but this does mean Napoleon escapes Russia after his failed campaign. This can also be confirmed by Napoleon being mentioned in British newspapers at Hougoumont, which takes place in 1815. This tells us that Napoleon has stayed alive since the first outbreak of the infection. So, after fleeing Russia, where could our perfectly average height emperor of the French possibly be? Let's look at the timeline, shall we? After Berezina, Vardø's Fortress is the next map, which takes place in, well, Norway, which is nowhere close to where the events of Berezina take place. Plus, there's absolutely zero mentionings of French soldiers or anything related to France there. It's highly unlikely that Napoleon would be in Scandinavia, especially if you look at Copenhagen, which takes place in 1815. It's literally a blight party and also cannon fodder for the Brits. It is safe to assume Napoleon is not in San Sebastian either, even though there obviously are French soldiers here. During the events of San Sebastian, Napoleon would still be on the retreat from Russia. Keep in mind, due to the attacks of the Blight being relatively small and grounded now, there is no truce yet, at least not until Leipzig, where a large amount of various nations are seen teaming up to escape the city. But here comes the tricky part. Was this truce organized by the local soldiers in defiance of their superior commanders? Or did the commanders organize this truce as a way to escape the city alive? The official Guts and Blackpowder wiki states that originally it's the first reason, and this wiki is the place to be for accurate Guts and Blackpowder lore. Because of the soldiers making peace with their opponents, the leaders of the nations become aware of the Blight, including, according to the wiki, Napoleon himself, meaning he made it to Leipzig, and the French Grande Armée is still largely organized. Napoleon is not in Kaub, however, he is Blücher's motivation to keep going regardless of the Blight, so that's worth mentioning. Here is where it gets interesting. Napoleon can't be in mainland and Eastern Europe, as he literally just escaped it, and that's where the Blight is the strongest, as seen in Tyrolean village. My guess is that Napoleon is in his lovely home in France after Leipzig, and he orders his men to go to maps such as Hougoumont, La Haye-Sainte, and La Ferme d'Anjou to join with British and Prussian allies. However, he himself does not join them. Then 1815 rolls around, and it's going down. The Blight has been popping up in Paris, and the city is being evacuated. But Napoleon has a history of abandoning his men, so I think Napoleon above all would ensure his own safety. For example, the Prussian royal family has been moved to somewhere safe already, as we can see in the Copenhagen newspapers. And their choice of supposed safety? The United Kingdom, mate. It appears that the separation from mainland Europe by ocean is what makes the UK a quote-unquote safe haven. So does that mean I think Napoleon went to the UK as well? Yes, but no. I do think he went there initially to deploy a force of Anglo-French soldiers to liberate Europe. But after noticing the skeevy behavior the Brits have, taking advantage of the Blight for their own gain for example, I think he would have left somewhere else. Wouldn't it be nice if, say, the Brits had an opposing nation, also removed from mainland Europe by several bodies of water? Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the US of A. Here, Napoleon would be free of the pesky Brits' power-hungry behavior, and he could still lead and govern his people from a safe distance. I know, this is an insane stretch, and would make no sense if not provided enough evidence, but I think this could be a fun twist of events. For a more grounded and arguably more realistic take, what if Napoleon went to his home of birth, Corsica? It's an island with several bodies of water between it and the European mainland, so Corsica too could be a safe haven for the little corporal to lead his people against the blight. With civilians seeing more and more people move to the British Isles for safety, everyone is going to see the UK as a place of safety, thus opening the door for maps set in the UK. Again, it's just my own speculation, but that's what makes it fun, right? To use our own creativity and found evidence and more. And this is a reminder that none of what I have said should be taken as true or actual lore. Only the devs know, and they can change anything at will. If you like this video and these type of videos, be sure to let me know so I can make more.
Thanks for watching!